Friday, April the 9th, 2021. Yay. Hopefully it's going to be a better year than it was last year, right? Anyway, guys, just want to thank you guys for joining us today. Our plan is to hopefully speak with Mr. J.T. Smith of Lake Norman and Lake Hickory. Muay Thai has an event coming up this weekend in Hickory, North Carolina. Last report, he was having a couple of issues trying to get on. So if he comes on a little bit later, hopefully we will have a chance to speak with him for a moment about his event this weekend. There's kind of some other stuff, that's going on, in the Muay Thai community, et cetera, et cetera. So I want to thank you guys for joining us once again. We want to thank our sponsors, Eastern Offset Printing out of Atlantic Beach, North Carolina, for all they do for us as well. They're out of Atlantic Beach, North Carolina. Be sure to check them out for all of your printing needs. Hey guys, if anybody want to be a part of the show today as we move through, again, I'm going to be talking to Mr. JT hopefully. If not, I'm going to be going through a list of events that we have coming up. We have several events that are coming up that I think will be of interest to you. A lot of people are hungry to get out there and get some fighting in and stuff like that. So if you want to make comments, certainly you can do that, or you can do it later on the when you're watching the replay of it or whatever. Be sure anytime just to make comments. I do go back and check on those, and if it's something that I need to adjust, I certainly will do that. But in the meantime, right now, we're just going to go ahead and move forward with the show, and hopefully he's going to get on. I'm hoping JT is going to come on. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about some of the full contact fights that are going to be happening. A lot of people want to know, when is the next fight? I get emails all the time of people asking me, when is the next fight? So what you see on the bottom screen right there is the list of fights that are coming up. Some are PKB, some are full contact. What's listed right there on the bottom right now are full contact fights. So if you want to get some work in, you want to get some real fights in and stuff like that, look at the bottom of that list right there. And again, right now, since I think I'm going to have a little bit more time, not going to be that long today, I will kind of put a couple of them up on the screen. So what's coming up next is the IKF World Classic. Now, the World Classic is a premier event that happens in Orlando, Florida. It should be pretty nice this year. It is nice every year. It's at the Hyatt Regency Hotel there. Have quite a few hundred fighters. Registration is in progress right now with IKFkickboxing.com. Again, there's full contact knockout action. There's kind of, I should say the East Coast Classic is kind of more like it when it comes to, fighting in the ring and things like that. So, hey, if you're looking for a good event that is, want to test your skills against people coming from different areas across the country and afar, the World Classic is next, July 2nd through the 4th. Yes, kind of hits on the 4th of July, but hey, you know what? We haven't had a lot of fight action going on, so it's a great opportunity to, get your work in. So you can contact the IKF headquarters as well at 916-663-2467 or IKFkickboxing.com to get in that fight, to get in that tournament, men, women, and juniors. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, they are actually added full rule Muay Thai. Oh, so you guys want to get in those elbows, right? Padded, of course, right? So check out the website. All the information is IKFkickboxing.com, or you can see. But I think they've added full rules. And in Florida, they didn't allow that before. So this is something new. So you want to contact them to see if you want to be a part of that event. I'm sure you will. And by the way, with those events, the awards are phenomenal. I mean, my East Coast Classic belt is really nothing compared. It is something. I don't want to belittle it, but compared to the World Classic belts, they are actually phenomenal. And really, it's a well-run event. Really nice facility, nice fights, again, well-organized. It is worth your time and energy to go. And again, you probably hadn't had a lot of fight action. So the World Classic is certainly something you should want to be a part of. Again, check them out at IKFkickboxing.com. Now, on my calendar for my event with AK Promotion, we have the IKF East Coast Classic that's coming up. It's going to be back in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, at the Landmark Resort. So you can definitely check that out on my website at akpromotions.org. That's going to be October 8th through the 10th. We'll say through the 10th. It might only be 8th and 9th, but we'll see how registration goes when it opens up in later in July of this year. So we open up pretty early, but it's quick. Last time registration filled up in exactly 3 weeks, right? So don't know how fast this is going to go, but, we're expecting for it to, chime up pretty fast. So be prepared for that. In the latter part of July, we'll open up registration for the Fall Classic back in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. The other thing, too, we're going to talk about that a little bit later as well, is that we have contenders for our U.S. titles, and I'll talk about that, and they will be defending them. All of them have agreed to come back and defend those certified United States titles in October. So that's going to be a grand event. Also on our calendars is going to be obviously a January 15th and 16th. We already have that locked down back in Columbus, Georgia, for the Georgia Classic, the IKF Georgia Classic. It was a pretty decent event this past year. We're expecting for it to be even better next year. Hope you guys will just save the date, put that on your calendar. It's going to be a really, really exciting event. Now, coming up this weekend, of course, we're going to be in Hickory, North Carolina with Mr. JT Smith, who was trying to get on, but was not able to get on just yet. Scrolling there, as you see at the bottom of the screen there. So I'll just chat a little bit about that event and everything. Since he was not able to come on, I will just, talk about him, right? JT owns the Lake Norman Muay Thai and now Lake Hickory, relatively new school, but we did a tournament there back in, a few months ago, and it was very successful. So registration is going on right now for that. Advanced registration ends tonight around 9 o'clock. akpromotions.org. Save yourself a few dollars. Go ahead and get registered today. The price will go up to the door price later this evening after 9. So definitely check that out. And again, nice facility there, nice area. JT has a great crew of people. We already have some pre-registration coming in already. You can also register at the door starting at 10 a.m. on tomorrow morning. Bring your men, women, and children. Come out and win some nice awards, a couple of PKB championship belts, obviously some trophies, obviously some medals, right? So a lot of good stuff is going to be happening on tomorrow there in Hickory, North Carolina. So if you're anywhere in the area, definitely try to come out there and have fun. A fun event, as well as spectators, you can come out as well. It's all COVID-19 protocols. We are still doing our protocols, mandatory masks for everybody, mandatory temperature checks and things like that, right? So those have worked for us. We're going to keep doing them until further notice. Spectators should not come out before noon, right? About 12:30, we'll get everything going, right? And the fighting, all the matching stuff should be done by then. So the fighting should start around 12:30. So come on down to Hickory, North Carolina on tomorrow, guys. Hickory, North Carolina, presented by Lake Hickory and Mr. J.T. Smith with this Lake Hickory Muay Thai. Should be a lot of fun. Hope to see some of you there on tomorrow. So we're going to move on through. Mr. JT was not able to get on just yet, so I'm going to just kind of coast my way through here. Another event next Saturday, we're going to be in Durham, North Carolina. It should be a lot of fun in Durham there. IKF PKB and the PBSC, that's the point boxing sparring that we have been doing for a few years. A lot of fun. United Thai Boxing, right? They're going to be putting that on with TK King. TK King, awesome lady there, runs that facility there. There she is. I think she's in Thailand right there and all. But great event coming up next Saturday. That's April the 17th. Right there in Durham, North Carolina. IKF Point Muay Thai, kickboxing sparring, and PBSC Point boxing sparring. Want to say something real quick. I saw somebody send a text or something talking about, the PBSC and somewhat of a threat of suspension for those USA boxers who participate in the PBSC. That is asinine. That is crazy. Don't even get me started with that. The USA Boxing has absolutely nothing to do with the PBSC. They cannot restrict people from participating in they can do what they want to in the organization. If you want to bind yourself to that, whatever. But the bottom line is that there are no restrictions that they can actually mandate for sparring. Okay? They can't do it. So anybody says that, just have them contact me directly. USA Boxing heads, chief, officials, contact me directly. If you want to go and have a conversation about it, we certainly can do that. The PBSC lives and is strong, and people love it. And it's going to change the face of boxing in a very, very good way. It's going to keep fighters safe, right? And it's going to, just make it, a better incubation period for fighters to actually get in something that is semi-contact. There are no knockouts. It's not done in a boxing ring, right? But they're going to learn to better their skills, their hands, their head movement, their conditioning. They're going to know exactly where they are. So the PBSC will be a part of that event. event next Saturday, April 17th in Durham, North Carolina. Hope we're looking forward to seeing everybody. TK and her team, they do a great job over there. April 24th, we're going to be in Charleston, South Carolina, there with Mr. Jeff Grady. Our man, Jeff Grady, his young fighter, Anna Toole, just fought for the certified IKF United States title. She fought Chelsea Maynard. That's Chelsea right there. And with the title, I'm going to talk a little bit about her in just a moment, but that's her. She and her trainer, Mark Clem, there. She is the new champion, guys. We're going to talk about that in just a second, though. We'll be back. Right back with that. Somebody's asking a question. Dustin Bolt, you got an older guy division. Yes, we do, Dustin. We have fighters that can participate in what we call, respectfully, our senior division. All right. No disrespect. I'm older than probably you are, but it is called our senior division, right? So yes, we do have a division for that. We try to have people 40 and over compete in that division for the most part. Sometimes they can come and compete with the younger guys, but certainly we do have a senior division. challenge these fighters and become the United States champion. As I said, these guys are the people who are going to be our next pros. They're going to be the people that is going to be, you know, the next leaders in our sport. And I do see JT Smith there in the lobby there, so we're going to be bringing him up in just a minute. I would like to say just in time. Absolutely, no doubt. You know, really quick before I bring on JT, I want to give props to someone, you know, who I think has done a remarkable job promoting himself. And that's Ronan Swenson. Now, Ronan fought Jaden Reeves, right, for the certified title. A lot of people thought, oh, man, this is going to be a dominant performance and all that, and he's going to kill. He's going to not kill, you know, but beat Ronan so easy. Let me tell you something, buddy. That is not the case, right? Ronan was in it to win it. I would say, if I had to guess, it was a 3-2. You know, 3 rounds to Jaden, 2 rounds to Ronan. But if it would have gone another round, or maybe, I'm telling you, because Ronan's confidence started building. And I'm telling you, he was starting to change the tide in that fight. I think everybody will see it the same. And if he decides to want to get back into the tournament in October, he can do that. We hope that other people get into it as well, right? You know, so we have 4 fighters, and that's a whole nother way they have to do it. But the champion is the champion. But I'm very proud of Ronan. I just want to say Ronan, and because of the way he promoted himself, I mean, he really, truly promoted himself. I mean, the video that you see now on the screen, I'm just going to show you a little bit of. This is something he and his dad put together.
It's going to be a good fight. He's a good opponent.
He's sitting there basically doing commentary of the fight and all the things that went on at these classic, you know, how we did interviews before the fight, you know, how he did the walk. I mean, everything. Fighters.
Yo, what is up, champions? This is your boy Runner here, back at it again with another video. And today's video is going to be about the IKF Classic National Championship against Jaden Reeves up in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach. Alright, so
really hundreds of
here's me getting a COVID test, and me on the right. I am at weigh-ins the day before. And I mean, he does it this is the day, I think, of I got breakfast, and that was our hotel, or at least that was the pool. We've actually been here before. This is our second time going to South Carolina, Myrtle Beach. This is the setup, and those are like the awards that you're going to win.
But this
here's
is
Johnny
the kind
Davis.
of
He is the runner of the
I have been in my book, The Art of
and that
Kickboxing, that I wrote
is
sometime
Amin
back.
Valverde. He's my
I was talking
coach.
about the importance of marketing
And
yourself.
these are more just
as
like,
a fighter.
Staff members telling us the rules.
You got to do this. If you want to be a
how
fighter,
the
you got
event's
to
gonna
invite
play
mama,
out.
dad,
So,
brother, sister, aunt, uncle's cousin. But if you have a social media
here's
area,
one of the officials telling us what throws are illegal and what
Facebook,
throws
Instagram, or
are legal.
whatever. You should be doing what
he's pretty much
Ronan's
saying
doing.
just like no
Some of the
headlocks, no
other
judo
fighters are
throws.
doing. You can't be a shy
catch a
fighter.
kick and sweep.
Right?
It has to be a
You
sweep.
can't be so shy. That listen, and listen.
no
Here's
judo
the thing.
throws.
Ronan doesn't
those are
necessarily
illegal.
do it
These are just
himself. He
random
has
fights
his
from
dad
the
involved. His dad helps him
from
with
the
all
show.
of this. And
I
you
was
can
actually the
find
first
your
day. I
uncle,
was on
your
Friday.
sister, your brother,
And
whomever,
it went
to
through
help
Friday
you
through
promote
Sunday.
yourself to
This
be
is me
the
getting
fighter
ready.
that you want to be.
Johnny
Have
Davis
confidence. Get
was
people
telling me
there.
about
This is the way we build
how
the sport,
the
though.
event was going to
This
plan out
is the
because I
way
was
we
main
take the sport
event.
to the next level.
And
If you were at
here's
the
me getting
Spring
ready.
Classic,
I was blue
or any
corner.
fight,
Jaden Reeves was red
and
corner.
you won, and you went back,
They actually
and you
had
did not
a
go to your local newspaper. You didn't go to your local radio
intermission
station. Or you
right
didn't,
before my fight.
get on
Like,
social
I was getting
media
ready to
and tell
fight.
everybody
They were just
about
like,
it,
all right,
even
we're going to have a
after the
10-minute
fight.
intermission. And I was
You
like,
are
and it always happens. That's happened like 3 times to me.
How do you think
Now, this
boxing
is 5
became what
times me
boxing
walking
is
out.
and MMA became what
Jaden
MMA
Reeves
is? We don't have the
already
millions of
walked out
dollars.
at this
What
point.
we have,
And
we
here's
have
me getting
a
ready
free
to walk
network
out.
pretty much on social
Johnny
media
Davis
to
had it
do
set up
our
so
part. Trainers, fighters,
like a
mamas,
little
daddies,
anthem was
brothers,
played,
sisters.
and then he'd
We
play your
need
walkout
more
song.
people like Ronan Swenson.
I didn't
Right?
choose
Look
my
at all
walkout
the
song.
stuff
I
that he
just
did.
let
He
them
just
choose.
sat there and he talks
And,
about his fight. And the last I looked at
You
it, it had
had to
2,000
stand there and
views
tell
on it.
Johnny Davis.
We have
until
to
the
do this. And I
song
know you guys say, that's Johnny
stops.
Davis just preaching
And
this.
so,
I'm telling you how to build the sport.
this is me getting
If you don't believe I know a little bit about
checked by
this by
the
now, shame on you, right?
Cutman
If
or
everybody
Ringman,
has to
whatever
chime
they're called.
in on this
They
thing
check if
to
you're
make it
if you have your
successful.
cup
This
and
is
your
my
mouth
challenge. I'm
covered or
throwing down the
anything.
gauntlet to you. to help us promote you,
here's
help us be
me putting
successful.
on my
So if you're
headgear,
on a card,
my mouthpiece telling
start
me
helping
how
that
much I've
promoter
worked for
promote
this fight,
that event. And I'm
and
talking
how I
about
put in
across the
work
board,
every
not just
day.
for me,
This
but
is my time
certainly
to
if
show
you're
it
on
all
my
off
cards,
and
right? I
prove
need your
to
help in
everyone
promoting
that
these events. So
I
Ronan
can,
Swinson, take
that I
a
can
bow,
fight,
brother.
and
You
I
did a
can
great
be a challenger
job.
for the
And you
national
didn't win the
title,
fight,
or the
but you were there. You showed a
IKF
good, it was a
national
good
title, at
fight,
least.
good showing. But we need more of this type of
And
promotion in our sports. I want to say
this
hats
is
off to
really
you, young
this
man,
was
and your
one of my
dad
toughest
for
fights.
doing this kind of stuff.
It's
Hopefully
Jaden
more to
Reeves.
come
He's
from
world
you.
champion.
Okay, good. Hope you guys been checking that out while I've been running my mouth. Great job, Ronan Swinson. All right, guys. So finally, without any further ado, we have the man with the plan. He was able now to join us. Let's give it up for Mr. J.T. Smith. How are you, J.T.?
I'm good, Johnny. How you doing, man?
Good. We were like, JT was like, man, I got to figure out how all this stuff works. Hey, JT, pull
here how to do it.
I know. Pull the camera down just a little bit for me. Pull the camera down so your head will go more to the top of the screen.
I'll do what I can. It's on a stand.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying not to have your name in front of your face. That's better. That's better. All right, good. You doing okay, JT?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Well, I'm glad you were able to come on, and I just want to chat with you a little bit about your clubs. Congratulations. Now you've expanded since the last time I looked back at some tapes. I think it was maybe back in May or something like we were talking, I think, doing with the gentleman, Mr. Oswald, or something like that, about the dementia and the program, the Parkinson's program that you're doing there. I think that was the last time we might have spoken. I'm not 100% sure. But I want to just kind of catch us up a little bit about your two clubs and what you have going on.
Let me, if you don't mind, I'm going to talk about that for just a second. I opened a Hickory Club. It was never in the work, never Hickory. It just kind of happened. It happened because involved in the Parkinson's. So there was a club in Hickory who was doing Parkinson's that had close to 30 people, and the club shutting down, no longer there. And I was the closest class around that had Parkinson's classes, so they wanted me to come up and tell them about my classes. And when I got there, I counted it up, and there's close to 30 people.
Wow.
And I was like, that's enough to make rent.
Right.
And so, and the club was fully equipped, 2 boxing rings, lots of equipment that they had accumulated. And so they were kind enough to give me a nice deal on all the equipment. And in return, I took over their park, opened up a new, and we were making basically what I did was Parkinson's Club, who was making a Muay Thai, and so they just kind of together. And so some of these people, different clubs, really are looking at this because it's very useful. It's very helpful for not only your club, but you're also helping people with Parkinson's in your community. So, that's how Lake Hickory Muay Thai came to be, and we're doing quite well. Membership's growing. I mean, it's doing fantastic.
Right. Very good. For the most part, your Wi-Fi is okay, as you alluded to a little earlier. It's a little choppy sometimes, but it's okay. Overall, it's okay. I just wanted to give you a heads up on that.
Okay.
But I think it's okay. So I want to thank you as well for participating in the helping me out in the PKB tournament over in Myrtle Beach. Unfortunately, you didn't have any fighters in that tournament this year. Tell me a little bit about what that felt like. That's the first time in a while.
I was kind of sad. I enjoyed watching. There's so much talent in the up and down the East Coast. I enjoyed watching all the other clubs, but I wish Aiden Zada could fight that kid. You know, I'd like to see Dakota Gray in there, but you know, I didn't have anybody. But it was still fun. There's so much talent.
Right. Well, like I said, registration filled up relatively faster than normal and everything. And I'm happy for that. But I did miss a few gyms that would normally be there that were just simply I cut the registration off very early on because we just had such an inundation. There were just so many fighters and stuff. We just knew. And really, that was a packed tournament even that way. What did you think about working with the PKB? A lot of people were kind of thrown off by the fact that, we had the big event going on one side and the other ballroom, it was packed, and thankful for you being at the door, but what did you think about the PKB there as a part of that?
I tell you what, that was some event. I mean, it seemed like it was almost as big as the full contact fight. I mean,
yeah.
The room was just packed. I mean, that was also a great event. So all in all, man, I think it was a great weekend, a really good show, and man, I can't wait till the fall. I'm gonna get in there early though, man.
I bet, right. I got people right now saying, "Okay, what is the exact day and hour?" Right? And I'm like, I'm not really thinking that far ahead just yet. Right? I don't know how many other events before that, but I want to really quick. Before we move on, you talked a little bit about the PKB. I know we did it in privately. We had a little conversation about the PKB, and I looked at some of the interviews in the past where you've talked about what the PKB has done for your club and your fighters, but you haven't really had an opportunity now since some of your young fighters have not only done the PKB, but now they've quote unquote graduated into full contact. And can you kind of just expand a little bit on what that transition has been like and why it was so important?
I think you explain it so well. Using the word incubator, I think is an appropriate choice of words because it is. It's just these little PKBs are giving them so much experience and confidence. And so, one of my fighters just recently was able to fight in a full contact event, and they went in there and they owned it. I mean, they had never stepped foot in full contact before, and they just dominated. So, yeah, it's kind of cool. I mean, if I see this as the new way of doing things.
Yeah.
And it's exciting, back when you were competing, I know, it was get ready, jump into the ring, see how you do, it's, fortunately there's a better way of doing things now. And that's because of what you've created here. And I very much appreciate it.
Thank you. I certainly do appreciate it. Interestingly enough, I got a friend request last night from someone who, Rick Davis. And who just opened up a gym over somewhere. I don't know. Was he in Statesville?
He's in Statesville.
No way.
Yeah.
He's in Statesville. I'm trying to figure out where.
That's about 20 miles north of Charlotte.
Yeah. Now, Rick knows he needs to give me a call. We're trying to put him all over, right? He knows he needs to quit playing.
I'm working on it. Give me a look.
I know Rick's from the old school, but listen, we have a lot more in common than he even knows. I can tell you that right now. He doesn't even know me, but I bet you we have a lot more in common than he knows. And plus, he has my last name. He has my last name because I think I'm older. So,
but I tell you, next family reunion, you have a conversation with him.
Yeah. We're gonna have to have a little chat about what happened back then. What's going on? We might be family. No, for real. No, I think that again that the tournament that's going to happen this weekend in Hickory. Tell us a little bit about the last one that we did there and your expectations for this weekend.
I tell you what, the last one that we had, I really didn't know what to expect because I kind of felt like people were like, Lake Hickory, what? Like they didn't know we were here. And I was very pleasantly surprised to pack it out. It was a very event, I think everybody had a good time. Seemed like we had an adequate amount of room, and it was a very good turnout, a very good event. And we're hoping same. I believe the potential for another good event is there. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I think it should be good. We're certainly starting to get in some registrations, pre-registrations, and hopefully we'll get obviously a lot more at the door. That's what it's all about. And I think that the COVID protocols. We often talk about that. You've seen them at play. You've seen what we do. What do you think about how we're doing with that?
I think it's great, and I think the fact that at this point you've had 0 cases, I think that pretty much speaks for itself.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where, no matter how you feel about it, you need to take it seriously because, people can be affected by it. So you have to follow those protocols and keep people safe.
I just think it's just the responsibility of a promoter in a leadership position like this is to definitely, try to keep everyone as safe as possible, from the fighters to the trainers and the fans that attend it. I just think it's really, really important. And to have like 800 bouts since July, when I say no known spread, I mean no known spread. No one has come back. Well, like I always say that, we're so intimate with each other. We're clenching and spitting and slobbering all over each other. If you were ever going to catch the COVID, you would certainly catch it in a Muay Thai kickboxing event, right? Where we're just all over each other, right? And to have 800 bouts with no one out of all those bouts, first and foremost, have come back and said, hey, you know what? I'm pretty sure I got sick and I got the COVID from that event. I just think that's pretty remarkable in one case. And again, even if they did, because we have that young, healthy environment of athletes and things like that, I think that is also a big contributor to us being able to to do this successfully. And so I'm very, very proud. I want to shift gears 1 second though, and I want to ask you about what is the hardest thing about teaching for you, JT?
I tell you what, I absolutely love what I do. I'm retired law enforcement. I don't know, just making sure every student gets attention. Make sure you're catching if they're doing something wrong. I guess it's just focusing on everybody, because our students are a reflection on us. If you send somebody out who comes to your gym and they go visit somewhere else, you want them to look good.
Right.
Have to be the best. You want them to look good. So it's just a matter of catching all those little details with the different students and making sure that they continue to grow.
Right. Talk about the emotional part of having maybe a talented young fighter, and you can see their potential, and then they stop or they quit. I don't think people really understand that trainers go through an emotional roller coaster when stuff like that happens with the different people that are coming in and going out. Explain your thoughts on that a little bit, JT.
Well, I think that I know what you're talking about. You put time in all of these people.
Right.
You've vested your knowledge and your time to help this person reach their potential, and it's sometimes it almost feels like you put more into it than they do.
Right.
You put all this time and all this effort into creating this person and transforming them into this great fighter, and then when they stop, it's just like they just stabbed you in the heart, man. But it's hard.
It is hard. It is hard. And I talk about this, Joint Davis Live, real talk, real solutions, that we have feelings too. And that was one of the things that kind of discouraged me, to be honest with you, from teaching. In the very end, I just got so tired of the roller coaster, of just fighters. Oh man, they're going to be great. Oh no. And then they're more interested in something else. Everybody can't do this. It's a tough sport, right? Everybody can't do it. Everybody won't do it and all that. But I just thought that what in this sport, when it comes to teaching, what have you learned most about yourself as an instructor?
Oh man, you're being watched all the time.
Ah.
And what I mean, they're looking to you to see how to act. You know, you are, if you like it or not, no matter, you're a role model. I mean,
Yes.
they're you, and if you're, they're watching how you talk, they're watching how you act, and you have to consciously be aware of it, because there's been a few times that I was upset about something, but I had to just kind of bite my tongue until I got home.
Right. Right. I think some people actually forget about the fact that when you're in a trainer instructor role, that is more than about training them how to fight and punch and kick people in the face, right? That you are indeed teaching them about life and how you handle situations and things like that. I think that is a vital point that you're making there, that whether you want to be a role model or not, you are a role model. And so being responsible is just so important. At the end of the day, though, how would you think you would like for the students who have come and have been inspired by you, how would you like for them to remember you? What would be some of the traits that you would like for them to say who JT was?
Just somebody who cared, somebody who helped them, somebody who had an impact on their life. I tell everybody, martial arts, I don't care what type martial art it is, when you pass on that knowledge to somebody, that it just keeps on passing down. I can't even tell you how many people I've taught now, but I imagine out of the hundreds of people that I've coached, somebody's going to pass it on to somebody else. I learned this. I learned this from Rick Davis. I passed it on to this student. This student passed it on to this person, and it just continues to go. And I tell everybody, especially parents, parents can give their children all kinds of different gifts and all, but nothing is like martial arts, because it's something that can never be taken away. It's something that they'll always have, and if they start young enough, it was something that will follow them until they leave this world. So there's a lot of value to that.
110%. I want to ask you about, did you see that little debate I had going on? I did a Johnny Davis live this weekend. I was talking about the Muay Thai round kick versus the karate round kick. Did you happen to see that little clip?
I did not.
Oh, hurt my feelings. Well, over 600 and some people did, right? And that's kind of rare. Normally the clips might get maybe 300 or 400, but a lot of comments, over 100 and some comments, or at least, likes on it as well, which a lot of people in. Well, let me just I want to bring you in, because now I'm getting ready to bring you in and ask the question. Sorry, you're going to have to get caught off guard. I don't know if I can pull it up fast enough. I don't want to mess up the show at this point. But what I was talking about, JT, and I want to get your feelings. Have you ever practiced any other kind of martial art than Muay Thai?
I did. I did Taekwondo and American style kickboxing.
Perfect. Okay, perfect. Okay, so my theory was, and I know you're going to go and watch this after the show now, right? But my theory is this, that the Muay Thai round kick, and this is not about superiority. I'm only talking about the round. That's what I call it, the round kick. It might be another name in Muay Thai. But the Muay Thai round kick, the way it is thrown compared to the kick, the round kick of a karate person, where the leg comes up, pops out, come back and down, as opposed to Muay Thai just swings directly almost from the hip, that is less trauma on one's hip doing the Muay Thai kick than it is doing the karate kick. Now, I say that because as a 6th-degree black belt and someone who has been in karate all of my life, that a lot of karate people, a lot of them that I know, have ended up with hip replacements, right? Or some type of hip surgery. Now, I'm 58. I've not had that. But I used to be that kind of kicker. I was a combination kicker, side kick, hook kick, round kick, I could kick. That was my nickname after Bill Wallace, Superfoot, right? So I was that kind of kicker. But a lot of people who were kicking like that have now had hip surgery. I stopped doing that type of kicking about 15, 20 years ago and went a little bit more towards the Muay Thai kick. I have a theory that perhaps the way that kick doesn't put as much trauma on the hip joint because it's more of a swing, that perhaps it is some preservation there. Have you ever thought about that?
You may be onto something, and I think also the fact that there's not full extension on the leg on impact may also help. You know, when you're out and you're throwing those traditional style kicks and you're fully extending, you know, that can't be good for your joints long term.
Right. Well, I have a couple of people somehow jumping in. Charlie Robertson, he agrees. I guess he agrees with that scenario as well. And he said karate is hard on the body. Not that Muay Thai isn't, right? Muay Thai is hard on the body too, but I really think there's something to what I'm saying there. If anybody wants to see that clip, you can go to my Johnny Davis Facebook page. And actually on YouTube as well, and you can see the clip yourself. It's only about maybe 4 or 5 minutes, and what I'm talking about. But I think I'm onto something. Now listen, a lot of people want to claim, oh, well, that's why Muay Thai is more superior. I'm not saying that Muay Thai is more superior, because a good karate fighter, a really good one, will give a Muay Thai fighter everything and then some, okay? If not, beat the crap out of them. How about that, right? Because there's a lot of stuff to pull from. All I'm simply saying when it comes to the trauma in that round kick, I think that there's something to that. The way we throw, I say we now, is a Muay Thai round kick. It has saved my hips from, you know, a less trauma as I age, right? And therefore, I think it's going to give me some longevity.
I think another thing is your target area as well. You know, this is just my thoughts on it. When you're kicking to the head, it's a lot different than kicking to the body. You know, when you're kicking to the head,
that's a good point.
The head bounces. You get hit, and your head's going to bounce all around. Your body and your legs; those are stationary targets. Those are areas of the body they're going to absorb, which is what high round kicks so devastating. Is when you're using that shin and you're using proper bent knee, you're penetrating, and so it's doing so much more damage. So that's one of the things that you have to keep in mind. It's really about power versus penetration, or power and penetration.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. Now, I would say, like, in Muay Thai really doesn't have a sidekick. Again, I'm not taking away a sidekick in karate. You know how to really throw a sidekick like my sidekick? I will break something with sidekicks. I've broken a lot of boards and ribs, right, with my sidekick, right? So I'm just saying that that's a totally different kind of kick. Yeah, so I'm not trying to claim one is superior to the other. Again, I'm just really talking about the round kick. My final question for you, in this COVID era, and I just want to see where your head is. Johnny Davis Live, real talk, real salute.
Okay.
I want to see where your head is, JT. Now, we got the vaccine out there, and you have people with a lot of theories and ideas and conspiracies about the vaccine. Okay, open disclosure. If people have seen, I put it on my Facebook page. I've taken my vaccine. Right, I've been inoculated, and I taking my first shot, and I take my second one on this Sunday. Right, but so I want to ask you right on the spot, Facebook Live, Johnny Davis Live, real talk, real solutions. Where are you with the vaccine, JT?
Where am I with the vaccine? I am a wait and see kind of guy.
I knew that. I knew it. That's why I wanted to get you on the show and keep it real. And what? So tell me your theories, your ideas. Why wait and see? Especially for someone, and I'm gonna put you on the spot a little bit, who's dealing with senior citizens, who's dealing with a lot of kids, and who has that role model leadership role. Just saying, go.
All right. So you brought up the senior citizens, and yes, I do deal with a lot of senior citizens, but I'm dealing with senior citizens that have a disease that if they do not exercise, the disease consumes them and they get worse. Okay. So when it comes to COVID, there is the possibility, slim possibility, that they may contract COVID if they go and exercise. Okay. Slim possibility. Let's say 5% chance. And that's That's big in my opinion. There is a 100% chance that if those people do not go to a gym and work out, that their Parkinson's will get worse.
Look, I'm sorry. That is true in what you're saying. I have no argument there. But right now, I'm talking about the vaccine and why one should or should not get it. Obviously, they're recommending that the seniors get it because of underlying medical condition and it's affected the elderly so seriously. So as an instructor, right, of someone who's working with seniors, if the vaccine is indeed that effective, which I think that it is, I think our medical professionals, they figured it out at this point. Why would there be skepticism from someone who's working directly with the senior citizen community, a vulnerable community, perhaps those with underlying medical conditions? I mean, almost wouldn't you be like one of those frontline people that would almost be first in line, all right, to get that shot? Just my opinion. JT's got to shoot me after this. I know that. He's got to come get me after this. Hey, JT, I ain't never going on Johnny Davis Live again.
This is fun, actually. I think I'm still one of those people that feel that this has gone through a little bit too fast. I just want to see what happens. You know, we don't know what the 10-year effects of this vaccine is going to be.
Well, you're going to wait 10 years. Hey, what the things that can happen to you in 10 years. I mean, if you're going to wait 10 years, all right, you're right. Don't bother, right? Sometimes what I believe, JT, is that we move forward on what we know for the moment. That's what I believe in life, that we are best when we do that, right? What we know, if we didn't move forward on the measles and other things that we had to get inoculated for, we probably could have been wiped out. I think there's some level of trust with our scientists and trust with our medical professionals that is vitally important. And when I hurt my knee and I need surgery, I go to the doctor, right? If I need something goes on in my body, I trust the science, I go to the doctor. At this point, this COVID-19 has really caused a lot of ravage on our country and on the world. And so who else do I trust other than the people that I trusted for every other medical condition that I've had? Right? Our doctors and our scientists. That's just my 2 cents. And I thank you for being honest and sharing yours. And again, I didn't know exactly where you were, but I do read some of your stuff. Right? And you don't necessarily say it, but you know, I get it. So I just said, okay, JT, real talk, real solutions.
Let me add one more thing.
You get the final word.
Okay. Listen, I also think that it has to do with your age. So my father is almost, my father's 80 some. And just to be honest with you, I don't expect that he'll be around longer.
I get it.
And so in his case, I think, COVID vaccine may be a good idea. I'm just not sure about young people who have a long lifespan. And
who may have a long lifespan. Obviously, it's taking out a lot of young people too. My thing is that the same reason that I wear a mask, I don't wear that mask so much for you, right? Because I feel like I'm pretty healthy. Yeah. I wear it for me, I should say. For me, I wear it for you. I wear it for the people who might have an underlying medical condition and or that might be around somebody that's more susceptible to maybe whatever it might be that I would have. That's why I wear the mask. It's a respect thing. The reason why I get inoculated because I am around, as you well know, tens of thousands of people all of the time. And I just feel like if the vaccine works, with millions of people saying that it does work, then I just feel like I need to be a responsible party in all of those people that I'm dealing with to make sure that I'm doing the right thing by myself, for myself, and by them. That's where I am with it. Again, that's just my 2 cents. Everybody has an opinion, right? And some agree, some don't agree. I'm just saying in the role that we are as leaders and martial artists, in my opinion, if there's something that really is helping us and getting us, because the numbers are indeed going down, and a lot of it is because of the vaccine, so it's obviously working. We can't wait 10 years. If we waited 10 years, we might be distinct. So just saying, JT, just saying. Look, brother, JT, looking forward to seeing you on tomorrow in Lake Hickory for IKF PKB sparring. Hope everybody will come out and have a good time. We'll have registration starting at 10 o'clock in the morning. Right. What's that address again, JT? We got that right now, right?
Yeah, we got it right. You can go to Google. Everything's correct now. It's 3204 Highway 127 South, Hickory, North Carolina.
Absolutely right. You'll be there with bells on?
Man, I'm going to beat you this time.
You're going to be awesome, awesome. Well, we'll see you in the morning. JT, thanks so much for coming on today, and we'll talk to you soon, brother. I appreciate you. Yes,
Bye-bye.
sir. All right, there, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking there with Mr. JT Smith. He's the owner there of Lake Norman Muay Thai and Lake Hickory Muay Thai. There, we're having an IKF PKB point sparring tournament on tomorrow there in the Hickory, North Carolina. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you guys are in the area, be sure to come out. Spectators can come out as well. Remember, it is a COVID-19 protocols. Everyone has to wear a mask. We've been successful with it so far. We want to keep it that way, so we hope that you will come out. Follow those rules. It's going to be a great time. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. Going to go out and take care of some other things. I want to thank all of you guys for watching another edition of Johnny Davis Live. And please continue to wear those masks. I recommend you get that vaccination, guys. Fort March. This is Johnny Davis Live, and I'm checking out. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.